6-pack flavoured potato crisp, 16 times 6 times 2, how much? 25 grams. We've got a box, but you can tell what kind of box it is already, can't you? You know this stuff. And look, it's still in the cellophane wrap, whatever it's called, cellophane, not quite, is it? But anyway, come on, let's get it up. Now I could use, I won't ramble, look, it's the old Monogram Patton tank. Yes, fantastic. I never made this as a kid. And I'm not quite sure why, just never got around to it. It's never in the shops when I was in the mood. So I've always had a hankering for this one. And you get those not quite so brilliant figures, but that's all part of the more the nostalgia, what is it, the flavour of the thing. And I was always impressed by the Patton tank. Never made enough models of it. I think I just made one, I can't remember. Might have been ESCI. So now at last, post-Christmas, let's get the show on the road kind of model. Fantastic. So what I was going to say is I could use a tripod, but that would involve getting it, which would mean reaching into that drawer, which might take 4 or 5 seconds. Then it would involve finding it, which I think would take a second. Then I'd have to get it out and open the legs, that would be another 2 seconds, and then I'd have to screw it on, which could be up to 5 seconds. I haven't got that kind of patience. So, unopened by the hand of man for goodness knows how long. It's not an original 60s, 70s one, obviously, but you know. Figures. Bye bye. Yeah, and you. Oh, we'll make it. There we go. That was my mum's hairdresser. Because my mum can't get out much these days. What a lovely community we live in. That's sweet. Anyway, parts. Big. I mean, I'll get them out of the bags and all the other stuff. Fantastic. And here we are, the upper part of the hull, and the hull sides. And it always struck me that, obviously for Fording purposes, and probably a good few others, and here's the turret by the way, for Fording purposes and a good few others, many of these late Second World War, and definitely Cold War tanks, really do have proper hulls. They're like ships. And there's the lower, upper portion of the hull, because I think the sides join together underneath. Anyway, there they are. Bits. Crew, or a member of crew, or 2, well 1.5, and a machine gun man, and a few other characters here and there. What a beauty. But of course the box and the instructions, despite that, give us a little whiff of Revell. And I know they're not popular. They're not popular with me. A lot of their aircraft horrify me. And a few other things they do. But they salvaged and preserved an awful lot of old models, which is good. And that has been very beneficial for me. So they haven't, at this point, as far as I know, they haven't tampered with the actual model itself. They've just acquired it and repackaged and brought the instructions up to date. These look like really good instructions, but they lack the vigour and the vivacity of the old Monogram stuff, which sometimes left a little to be desired, but that was part of the wonder of it all. And this looks like I'm going to enjoy it. So hooray. I'm glad I've got one at last after all that time. I've got a Tamiya one, and I've just been putting it off because it's just a little bit more dense in terms of parts than I want me first Patton to be. I want it to be this one. Ah, the turret, the very head, the facial features, the character of a tank, which doesn't say much for those tank hunters that don't have a turret, but they usually have other distinguishing features. But for this one, really very distinguishing, very of its time and of a kind of culture of tank building. I think this is one of the things that really makes this tank stand out. So I'm going to put it together. Waffle over. So sort of halfway through the turret, I find it unusual that the gun is the last thing to go on. But that's what the instructions say, and there's a few bits. I've come to one of those impasses because to get the gun on, I've got to make sure that the turret is secure to its base. So I'll pop some of the little bits on and then go back to the wheels. So this can dry. The hatches are mobile. How about that? Oop, crash. That's incidentally, not intentional. So there's a bonus. And here we are with a kind of test run on the hull, and looks good. The one thing is there's no counterweight on the gun, so it keeps dropping. Might try and pop that out and have a look at what we can do. The torsion bars are a bit busy, might come back to those in a bit. Complicated suspension, perhaps, is what I should say. Anyway, there we are, looking like we're getting somewhere. So I'm busy doing the wheels, and a few anomalies have cropped up. Excuse me. The first is here. I'm one short. That, let's say that one is missing. And I'm thinking, oh God, how am I going to fudge my way around that? So there's a possibility it's just tucked away somewhere. So we'll see how time goes and what it reveals. Then there's all these, and I'm putting those on. And I found there's also another problem. Here we are, they're all going all fine. And then we've got, I mean, you know, put them in pairs. There we go, there's a pair, but look, this isn't, and that one's too big. I realised with a little bit of wet paint, that very small roller, idler, has got stuck on there. And I was thinking, that enormous wheel, where does that go? Why is there only one? So, idiot, never mind. Happy wheels. I've got to put the caps on, but I think I'll paint these interiors first, or the hubs, and then, well, that's it. Happy wheels. Right, we'll call it a day at that point, and come back to this shortly. I've got other models on the go as well, so I feel like I'm being a bit ridiculous now and I need to focus, so I'll get on with this and get on with the other one, whatever it is. Yeah, the long ship. Right, so it's goodbye from him, and it's goodbye from me. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.